get tight. I never lost a job. I mean, not quit, but but no, you lose your job and you got bills to pay. When I quit my job, I went out the same day. I was in a bigger city, so it's easy. I got 2 other jobs just like that. But I know what it's like not to have money. When I first started, when I first went full time, I'm living by faith, man. Whatever comes in from the offerings. And I don't care, man. I could go to 5 different churches in a week and get $500, or I could go to 5 different churches in a week and get $70. Shoot, I'm struggling, man. I know what it's like. And I can tell you something. Fear will grip you. It will hold you to where you stop forgetting what God said. You stop hearing it. Come on, everybody. You stop hearing it. You're like, man, look, I don't know what he said. When the disciples came to Jesus, they did not remember that he said, let us pass over to the other side. What were they thinking? We're getting ready to die. We're done, man. You let us and we're dead. How many times have we been there with our lives? In little things. Little things. I remember struggling to get a car, man. I got nobody that will help me. I'm struggling. And now I said, I don't give a shit. I'm going to get a car one way or the other. I'm going to Jesus, man. Oh, no, man. I don't mind telling on myself. For a couple of days, I was sitting there, man. Because, see, I put myself on the spot because I said it publicly. So I couldn't get anything but a black Charger. It was hard to get one. I couldn't see. And then, man, I just said, Lord, I'm trusting you. Bam, in ministers, man, God said, hey, I bought my car from Enterprise. Less money. I said, I'll do it. Amen. And I got the car. But I'm telling you something, man. Fear will grip you so strong and so tight. It'll grab you by the you know what. And squeeze. Squeeze till you say, uncle. Uncle. And you want to say, uncle? You say, uncle. The men know what I'm talking about. You ladies, you smart. You guys are smart. I can't pull nothing over y'all, man. Y'all too smart for me. Fear will cause you to go back. Let me read this and we'll stop here. Fear is self-induced misery. Fear is worry, apprehension, horror, all of which cause the person to become paralyzed with their problems. They run away from the problem like frightened mice, close their doors from God, and hide from His Word. Fear paralyzes you physically and even more importantly mentally to the point that you lose the normal function of life as God has designed it. You forget all about Him, man. What am I going to do in this situation? Come on, y'all not hearing me, man. Y'all not hearing me. Let me go deeper then. Let me just follow the Lord. Yeah, you do it to yourself. I sat this week as the court ordered and discussing seeing my child because I hadn't seen him, but average for the last 14 months, about 7 hours a week, even though she's up the street. So the court, Lord said, go to court. This is what they're there for. The world can help you some. And so, the ladies, good lady, man, they're mediators, they're not counselors, so they're trying to be fair. But, after a while, and she's like, wait a minute, ma'am, you can't do this to this man. The child needs him. I understand you're angry, whatever happened. That's not her business, like she said. No, that's nobody else's business. But you're doing this to the child. You're not hurting this man, you're hurting this child. I just kept my mouth shut, because obviously I ain't doing nothing because I can't see her. And, stuff happens, and so we came to an agreement. The lady, before we left, because she's an expert, she said, well, now, ma'am, you're going to allow this on Friday. You're going to allow the child to see him on Saturday. Yes. And you're going to allow the child to see him on Sunday. Yes. Well, 23 hours later, my child sends me a text, Daddy, I'm getting ready to go. Like, what? Lord, what? Lord, you put me in this situation. I can't even see my child. Forget the other stuff. I'm talking about my child, man. We just agreed to this 23 hours in the late. We got it, but see, it hadn't been assigned yet. It's got to go to the attorneys. And, real nice. And, what's going on? Well, I can do what I want to, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And you can tell me whatever you want to. And so, again, I'm sitting there, fear. I said, wait a minute, Lord, I'm not going to look at that person. I know better than this. I know that. I can't look at this person. I love them. I wish them the best. I'm not dealing with that. But I'm dealing with, I don't get to see my child. Dang, I pay child support early every month. Come on. I get $200 extra every month. I don't have to do all of that. Right. Oh, I'm talking about what I do. What have you put me into? And I'm telling you something. When it says you induce yourself into misery, man, y'all not, for 2 hours I was miserable. Man, I couldn't talk to Mama because Mama, Mama sides with you, and she not, she did say some good stuff, but, well, it'll be all right, and, but see, you can't always talk to Mama. It doesn't work, Well, my mother never did that with my dad, but, things happen, man, in life. We're not criticizing, we're just saying what it is. It is what it is. You got to get over it. And I sat there, and I didn't get the victory over it until the Lord said on Thursday, remember what you're going to start preaching on Sunday. You're walking in fear. I've already given you a word. I'll defend you. Even if you don't see the child on Saturday and Sunday, which I didn't. Okay, have a good time on Friday. And so we stayed out 8.5 hours. We had one of the best times we've had since we've been together. Went to the movies, Olive Garden, cut up, rode around Best Buy, hung out in Fed. Well, I won't see her probably for 3 weeks, but I said, well, okay, so long as it's been, but you got to trust God. You can't sit there and fear. Well, it's just 3 weeks. Life is not going to end in 3 weeks, hopefully, And if it is, I'll see you forever in heaven. But again, here's my point. Because see, you got to go where people can understand. You don't know Peter, James, and John. My choice was to stay there in fear and turn back from God, what he said to me, or to go forward and not get angry with God or man. Because you still have to walk in love. Are you listening to me? God will work it out. That's what I'm trying to do. See, I'm human like you are. I go through things that I never thought I would have this kind of drop. I used to laugh, but I said, man, I got more than anybody. So I said, Lord, I got to depend on you, man. And I just keep laughing. I said, I'm not, I'll go in and out at times, but most of the time I'm just laughing, man. I couldn't get up and talk to you if I weren't. I couldn't get up and minister to you if I weren't. Because I said, man, God's going to turn this thing around. God is good, man. I understand what's going on. God is good, though, But again, if you let fear rule your life, you'll turn back from God. That's what happened with the disciples. They said, man, you have caused us to die. Well, I got news for you. You're not dead yet. As long as you got breath in you, God can turn the thing around.
Amen. Thank you.
I know it's hard sometimes. This is hard for me too. But the greatest thing my mother and my dad ever did for me as a child was talk to me about what happened with their relationship. It's necessary for us to go forward. You got to hear some of this stuff. I realize it's tough. I realize it's going to shake what you thought about certain people. But you got to hear it. It's from God. You can't live your life in a cocoon. Right. You want to be able to take things that have happened to other people, not just Jonathan. That's my job to train him, but not just Jonathan, the rest of us, because things are going to happen in life, man. Good people, they're not bad people, but things happen, and they turn around. And you got to make sure what happened to them doesn't happen to you. See, I saw people in my organization graduate with me, better preachers, better teachers, more anointed than I'll ever be. They turned around because something happened, man. And that's why God said, be committed. Because fear will cause you to turn, man. You'll be so afraid, like this thing says, you'll talk yourself out of what God has just talked you into. All right, we'll stop there. That's all right. We'll stop. It's all right. It's all good. We'll get it. Amen. All right, let's bow our heads to the Lord. I don't feel like the Lord wants me to minister to anybody individually today, but let's just do it from the pulpit. Fear is a decisive, let me put it that way, detrimental, determined enemy of mankind, because it paralyzes us from doing the things of God. The disciples here received the word. They were on the right path. They were in the right situation. But unlike Job and unlike Joseph, they didn't stand because of fear. They induced themselves into misery. They caused themselves to be so downtrodden and so in despair that they could not, listen to the word, they could not hear what God's word was saying to them. Because God's word never changes. The circumstances may change. People may change. The sight realm may change. But God's word always remains the same because God does not change. And so they built up this wall of defeat in their lives. And they were ready to accept death instead of victory. Many of us are here today in that same mode. God has spoken to us through the written word and through his spoken word, a rhema word. But we've allowed fear of people, fear of circumstances, fear of our future, that it won't work out the way we want it to cripple